Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dinner Table Belonging. In today's episode, we are introducing the ISL Interpreter Fellowship. Over 6 months, six ISL interpreters were trying to advance their professional skills. Today was the last day of their fellowship program. So I got them here to play a fun sign word game and share their experiences from the fellowship. Ready? Let's get into.
Harishma SH, Rukma Prakash, Jyotika Jayakrishnan T, Anshika Pal, Harshita Sharma.
Jibin Joy. Hey, your hair's gotten pretty long. Why don't you cut it?
Now I love my hair. You go ahead if you want to.
Cool. I'll give you a haircut. Wait, I have a doubt. Are you an interpreter? I saw you in a sari and thought you might be a teacher. Are you one?
Now I'm an interpreter
Then why the sari? I don't get it.
because today is our last day of the fellowship.
Oh, right.
Goodbyes.
I thought wearing plain black was part of the interpreter's code. Is that right?
It is mostly black with slightly additional color.
You've been signing for a long time, and both your parents are deaf, right?
Yes.
Then this sign game is going to be pretty easy for her. Alright, let's see. Pick a cheat for the challenge. What did you get? What's the sign for it?
Take it easy.
Aha, take it easy. So, do you ever get angry or do you usually stay calm?
I will always try to remain calm.
So, if something happens while interpreting, you won't panic.
I would rather stay relaxed.
So, while interpreting, have you ever had moments where you stayed completely calm or maybe even felt angry at times?
Very rarely.
During your interpreting experience, have you ever faced a situation where something unexpected happened and you had to step in, take control, and manage it as a team?
One day, while I was interpreting on stage in English, the speaker suddenly switched to a different language. I got stuck and struggled for a few seconds, but stayed calm and managed the situation by continuing the interpreting with the support of the co-interpreter.
Do you think teamwork is important?
Yes, it's very important.
Why is that?
I don't think interpreting can really be done alone. When you have a team, you can support each other, give feedback, and reflect on your work. And that's how you improve and grow. Especially on stage, interpreting alone for a whole day is not practical because we can get exhausted. For these reasons, teamwork is very important.
Yes, I agree that we must follow ethical standards. At the same time, it's important to stay proactive and support one another as a team. What's your plan after the fellowship?
I'm interested in engaging more with the deaf community and actively seeking new learning opportunities to develop my skills.
I hope you achieve your goals soon.
Yes, for sure.
All the very best.
Thank you.
Over the past 6 months of the fellowship, you must have learned so many new signs, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I believe you will recognize the sign right away. Pick any random sheet.
Shall I open it and show you as well?
Do you know the sign? Let's see.
I'll fingerspell it first before I sign the word. Overstepping, overstepping. It means crossing boundaries, so it really depends on the context. For example, when an interpreter is doing their work and someone else interrupts unnecessarily, or even in everyday life, when we make our own decisions but someone else comes in and decides for us, it feels like overstepping.
That makes sense. Let me ask you, have you ever overstepped in your interpreting journey?
No, I haven't overstepped and I'm careful not to allow others to put me in such situation.
As an interpreter, you wouldn't cross the line and interrupt unnecessarily, correct?
Never.
I hope you will continue following those ethics, especially after learning so much. I have another question. So, what are your plans after the fellowship?
I definitely want to grow in the interpreting career. I want to keep improving my skills and continue developing myself further.
After these 6 months in the deaf community, how would you like to be supported?
Equally support each other.
Yes, in interpreting, you still have room for improvement. So, how can they support you for your growth?
I'd like to share a personal experience. Sometimes people don't fully understand the situation. Like, for example, when I'm interpreting, there are days when my mood isn't good and I feel low on energy, and people call me for interpreting. If I say no, they might think I sound strict or distant. But it really depends on the situation. Sometimes I may just be feeling sad or mentally tired. In such cases, if I still agree to interpret, accessibility may be affected. So instead of judging too quickly, we should try to understand, respect, and support each other's situation.
That's really an important point. Interpreters are human too, not robots. Before accepting an interpretation, we should first check our mental readiness. Otherwise, it may affect how people view the interpreter's competence. So, as you now know, it is important to avoid being careless and always maintain professional boundaries,
I
right?
agree.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
That's it, nothing else.
All right. Wishing you all the best as you continue working with the deaf community.
Thank you.
You have learned a lot, right?
Yes.
I doubt that.
Are you sure about that?
Really? Are you sure?
We'll see.
Let's get started with the challenge. What did you get?
Shall I sign it? Okay. This is the sign for step back.
Tell me, have you ever needed to step back while interpreting?
Yes, sometimes. For example, if I'm interpreting, expecting the lecture to be English, but suddenly the lecturer starts speaking in Hindi, I may need to step back momentarily. In such a case, I'll take a pause, reassess the situation, and continue the interpretation accordingly.
So you take a breath and then continue.
Yes, I keep myself calm and composed.
Good. You have learned how to deal with different interpreting situations over the past 6 months, right?
Yes,
That's great. So, what are your plans after the fellowship?
I'll be looking for a job.
Along with your job, what else will you focus on in interpreting?
Personally, I feel confident in my interpreting skills, but ensuring full accessibility is essential.
How do you plan to do that?
After these 6 months, I'll continue my personal learning and stay connected with the deaf community to keep updated with new science, information, and keep improving. During the fellowship, I have learned a lot and will apply the knowledge in my own interpreting practice.
As you pack your bag, don't leave the knowledge behind. Take it with you.
Absolutely.
Great. I hope you continue to stay connected with the deaf community, support each other, and stand in allyship. Do you agree?
Yes, for sure.
Amazing. All the best for your future journey ahead. We have Anshika here. So, how did you end up with that signing?
I got the sign as a kid and it has stayed the same.
Great. During the 6 months, you have learned many signs. Since your father is deaf, I'm guessing this challenge might be easier for you. Let's find out.
Let's see. Reckless.
She got it right away. This one was reckless. Okay, I have a question. Have you ever been reckless while interpreting?
I don't know.
She's lying. You have to answer honestly.
Really, not at all. I always make sure to interpret responsibility and accurately.
Alright, over the past 6 months, what has been your biggest learning?
I've had many learnings, but the first thing that comes to my mind is avoiding autism.
Do you think you might still show autism in the future?
No, it's like a sin. I'm not going to do that.
Did I just put you on the spot with that?
Never again will I show autism.
So, going forward, you are going to resist autism and handle the situation properly, right?
Yes, absolutely.
How are you going to do that?
I believe I shouldn't do autism, but unintentionally, it might still happen. My father always advised me that we should never hurt anyone. Instead, we must build a connect with others. That has been an important lesson for me, and we should empower them.
Wonderful. We know autism can sometimes happen unintentionally during interpretation. How would you deal with that?
To manage such a situation, I will try, though I know it isn't possible to explain completely to someone in one go, but I can share enough so they understand the idea.
Here's a suggestion. In such cases, you would invite a deaf person to share their perspective directly with the hearing individuals and you can interpret.
Yes, I'll try to support in that way.
Wonderful. All the best for your journey ahead.
Thank you.
You must have picked up a lot of new signs. Let's test you. Pick a cheat and let's see if you know the sign.
Okay, I'll pick one. This is the sign for the word worthless.
Nice. So, what does that sign mean to you? Would you say this ISL fellowship was worthless?
No, not at all. It was extremely valuable, truly like gold.
That's wonderful to know. Tell us what made it so valuable to you.
Should I explain a bit more?
Yeah, go ahead.
I learned in depth about interpreting ethics and understood how interpreters should work respectfully with the deaf community. I also learned not to disempower, but to empower deaf people, and that's been incredibly beneficial.
That's wonderful. So, what are your plans after the fellowship?
I want to stay connected with the deaf community and involved in the interpreting field, and also continue my law studies.
That's amazing. All the best.
Thank you so much.
We had 5 girls, and the last person is a boy. So, how was it? Being the only boy in the group was quite challenging. Hold on, what is your sign name? My name is Jibin. Awesome. So, like you said, why was it difficult? It was 5 girls and just one boy, me. Honestly, it was not easy at all. And when it comes to opinions and things like that, if there had been another boy, we would have that same kind of understanding and vibe. That's not completely true, right? In the end, it became a well connected team with strong teamwork, didn't it? Yes, that's correct. I know you have been using sign language for quite some time now, especially since both of your parents are deaf. So, do you think you can guess the sign for one of these cheats? I will try. Okay, go on. I hope you will pick this one. Choose one thinker. Eat your mind? How would you sign that? Speak your mind. Great. That's a sign for speak your mind. So, in your interpreting experience, have you ever held back from speaking about a mistake? Yes. There were times when I couldn't provide the voicing while deaf people were signing, and I didn't open up about it. It was like I ate the words without giving the full information. So, after you started speaking up, how do you feel now? Is it better? Yes, definitely. I feel much better now. I strongly believe in equality and that we should ensure accessibility as well as full inclusion for everyone. And why do you believe in that? Because in our world, we have both deaf and hearing people. When you really look at society, equality is something everyone deserves. Just like men and women should be treated equally, deaf and hearing people should also have the same opportunities. The idea is the same, right? That's great. So, what is your plan after the fellowship? My plan is to focus on myself. I want to reflect how I can improve and what I can do better. I keep exploring ways to grow. So, when you think about improvement and achievement, what comes to your mind first? Personally, the first thing that comes to my mind is following interpreting ethics. I believe attitude is quite valuable. We must respect deaf people and their identity. Also, interpreting is not about helping, it is about providing professional service. Awesome. Everything you have learned over these 6 months will stay with you and you will keep recalling it, right? I wish you all the best for your future interpreting career. Thank you. Wait, we are back again? The sixth fellow segment is already over. Now we have the one who managed the fellowship. Shiva is here. Hi, Deepak. So, 6 months and six fellows. How was your experience leading the fellowship? Especially since today is the last day. Will you miss the? Today, when I think about the whole experience, I realize how much I enjoyed it. When I reflect on myself, I see there is no need for tears. After today, I'll keep revisiting these feelings again and again. Honestly, it's been a really wonderful experience. In these past 6 months, we had a lot of learnings. Which one has benefited you the most? My most important learning was that while working, I learned to think about what others are feeling inside. That was really important for me. See, classroom teachings are all fine, but I still remember one day we all went up to the terrace for a session. That's when I truly felt a sense of connection. I realized that learning doesn't just happen only in formal sessions. Interaction is very important. When we create a safe space, learning happens naturally. What are your expectations for these six fellows? And what is your vision for their future? I have always been interested in mentorship training and working with interpreters, and this entire journey has been really exciting. Now, working with these six fellows is a big responsibility for me, but I also always remind them it's not just my responsibility, it's shared. They need to take ownership too. In their future interpreting careers, wherever they go, people will observe them and understand what it means to be a professional interpreter. Things like professional conduct, following ethics, and having the right attitude are very much important. When they follow these, interpreting will be smooth and proper. My vision is that others will also learn by observing them, understanding how professional interpreters work and how to collaborate to work effectively. These are the things people can learn from the fellows' experience. Fantastic. One last question. From your perspective, what support is needed from the deaf community for this fellowship? The deaf community plays a key role in supporting this process. From their lens to recognize the challenges an interpreter might be facing, sharing with each other openly to create better understanding, knowing how to work effectively with interpreters, and not leave it up to the interpreter to handle everything. There needs to be mutual understanding and exchange of expectations. There are many aspects to this. For example, it's important to understand how to work with interpreters without assuming that everything is their responsibility. Sometimes people say the interpreter will handle the voicing, so I don't need to do anything. But it shouldn't be like that. Working with an interpreter is a shared responsibility. Both sides need to be involved, communicate, and prepare together for the best outcome. Then the outcome will be much better for everyone. I agree with that. The onus of deciding the vocabulary and how it's expressed is not only the interpreter. The deaf person should share their preferences and ideas with the interpreter so that the interpreter can follow and convey the message accurately. Absolutely. In handling cultural differences and the weight and balance of words used and power imbalances. Finally, what would be your advice to the fellows? Keep learning and unlearning. It won't be easy, but practice every day. Stay positive and things will improve. Thank you, Shivoy. Thank you for having me. Thank you, ISL Interpreter Fellowship.